like pop music, and like there's just like
Pop music.
Well, I think we are pop music.
Oh, pop.
Pop music.
I thought you said pot music.
Yeah, not to be confused with pop music.
No, pop music. Like, it's like, alternative pop, and I think that, like, all of a sudden people are really, like, kind of expanding their, it's just for too long. I think that all you saw for women in the industry were, like, the Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera's and Faith Hill's, and it was like, if you're a woman, then you must sound like one of them. You must be Alanis Morissette, or you must be Avril Lavigne, and it was like, there was this whole other scene under the surface, like, with all these really amazing musicians, not just women, just musicians in general, and it's really exciting for that music to be starting to break, and become more mainstream.
But there's a tremendous, like, amount of women who are making amazing music.
Sorry, I keep pulling shit out of my pocket.
That's okay.
You
What do you got?
an
Is this a
autograph,
love
or-
letter or something?
Yeah, it's just a love letter. It's actually your Rolling Stone review.
Is it?
Yeah. Wasn't very good.
Sexist.
Oh, this is a very sexist review.
It
See,
was.
he's a great example though of like, okay, here's a dude who's like, I know who this guy is, right? Like, he's like an older guy, and he assumes because we are girls and because we're gay
That he won't be
that
able to
he can't
relate.
relate to what we're doing. But like, tell me something. When I was like 8 years old, my very favorite record in the whole entire world was Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey by Bruce Springsteen. What in the fuck did I have in common with a man in his 20s writing songs about love and whatever on the boardwalk in Atlantic City? Like, why did I relate to that? Or how about Krista Berg's Spanish Train and Other Stories? Loved that record when I was 9. What the fuck did I have in common with Patricia the Stripper? Lots. I would find out in the future. But like at 9, I didn't know anything. And like, why do you relate to music? Like, I don't relate to Radiohead because like,
because you're a whingy
they're,
bastard.
Well, or they're like heterosexual dudes. I relate to it because I'm a human being and I can relate to music. Like, and I love love songs and I love introspective music that, people wank around on their guitars and whatever. So like, I think that it's like what you said before, like all joking aside, like, you're a dude and so you don't like chick bands or whatever. It's like, it's lazy. It's totally lazy.
I was actually joking, Sarah. I don't want you to beat the crap out of me.
I'm just kidding around. But like,
I'm
but that
vaguely
dude,
scared of you as well.
But like that dude, that wrote that review or whatever, like I really
Whatever, life would be so boring if
Yeah.
we didn't have, like, guys like that writing boring, stupid, irritating,
You're going to
sexist.
love that sort of stuff, though.
Yeah,
Just go,
like-
you're a dick.
If everything was positive, I mean, there'd be no reason to get up in the morning. Whose mind would we be able to change if everyone was on our side?
True, that's true.
Very true.
Yeah.
But back to how much I actually dig the con.
Yeah.
Like, back in your head, it's just that fucking song, man. It kills me. It's just the poppiest fucking thing you can hear, like,
Yeah.
and it just blows me away.
Yeah.
And actually, the title track as well. Like,
I think that we both are like addicted to writing songs that like to me, like, I love bands that don't make sense to the listener,
Yeah.
like, and you have to listen and you have to really invest and it becomes something different. We're not that band. Like, I like to write, when I sit down to write a song, I want to write an intelligent pop song. And to me, an intelligent pop song is like, I'm not comparing us to the Supremes, but it's like, you put on a song and it's like, and you listen to that and it's like, within like 20 seconds, you know exactly what the chorus is going to be, and you sing along and you feel it and you're passionate and whatever. And it's like, I want to be that kind of band. I want to start a song and by the second chorus, everyone is just like singing along.
so many bedrooms across the world.
Yeah.
Just have people jumping up and
Karaoke.
down on beds and just screaming out along to that song.
I love that. I love it. I think that the cool thing about it is that it is a pop song, but it's like the lyrics are dark. It's like it's a song about not being faithful and it's not like, like I love this boy and he's so cute and whatever. Like that kind of music, that kind of pop music drives me insane.
Damn straight.
And I don't like that kind of pop music. I like pop music that like really pushes the boundaries, and a lot of like the way that I think pop music was created, like out of rock music, I think in like the 50s and the 60s and stuff like that, that pop music was like really pushing the boundaries. It was really controversial.
It was smart.
It was totally smart. It was
That's what
what people were afraid to say, instead of saying like everything's great and love is wonderful and there's birds flying above us. It was like, like I want to fuck your best friend and I'm not in love with you anymore. So die.
It's always a painful situation you
Yeah.
go through.
It is.
And why not write a song about it? I says.
Sometimes it happens. What can I say?
Do you guys find it weird that, obviously a big hook about you guys and what a lot of people talk about is the fact that, yeah, you're gay, yeah, you're twins, and yeah, you're from Canada.
I mean, I think that those things are all...
People love maple syrup.
Those are all things that...
I'm a big fan of maple syrup. I actually was
Yeah.
talking about maple syrup last night. Apparently it doesn't go off very easily.
Go off?
Yeah, like you can like leave it in the fridge for like years.
Oh, go off. I see. Yeah,
Go
it doesn't
bad.
rot.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's full of sugar.
That was some weird cultural thing.
That was.
That was weird. It was very awkward, especially because because we're sisters and we're twins and I think those things are all very relevant things about us, and I think for a lot of people those are the only things they need to know, and then they just turn the page.
Yeah, right.
Because we must be a band that's made up by the record labels, and we're put out there to be consumed and make money for everybody but ourselves, and then we'll be shipped back to our small Russian town to be straight and get drug habits or whatever. And
I love Tattoo.
Yeah,
weren't
me
they
too.
great?
They were great. That was a good record, but
Hasn't she had like 40 kids now as
yeah,
well?
not written
40
by them.
kids. She's on Facebook. We're going to our high school reunion together.
I'll poke her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, if that's what you want to believe, then it seems like that you can. So I think we always say we're the most famous band you've never heard. So like a lot of people have seen our photo or know we're the lesbian twin, and it's just like that's great. That's awesome, and that's totally fine. That's what you should think. You're missing out on the best band ever. So that doesn't really it doesn't matter.
Fuck you, chumps.
Best band ever. Wow.
Yeah.
I think there's also this thing too
Why,
that it's
why
like,
would you pass up on this?
No,
Come on.
don't pass up on
Like
us.
Or
they
do.
could beat the crap out of me, and I'm like twice their size. It's kind of scary, but
we're
they're
very
very
strong.
cool.
The thing too that like makes me sad sometimes is that it's like there's nothing. It's not a novelty. I don't think like who we are. Like like I like exactly who I am. I would never change who I was. Like, I'm glad I'm queer, and I, like, look out at the audience sometimes, and I see, like, kids who, like, are looking up to us and, like, think that we're cool and whatever. And, like, when I was growing up, I don't know how big Bikini Kill was over here, but, like, you know, like, Kathleen Hanna is, like, one of my idols, and I remember thinking that whole Riot Girl movement was so passionate, and it was so real and so honest, and those people never would have made apologies for who they were. And we're not, just because we want to be a pop band doesn't necessarily mean that we don't want to be, like, unapologetic about who we are. And, you know, when I was growing up, the only person in the media or in the public that was like an alternative cool figure who was gay or bisexual or whatever was Ani DeFranco. And I remember thinking like, hanging on to that and being like, oh, thank God there's someone out there who like exists.
Ani DeFranco was so hot.
No, she was seriously she is. She's not dead. She's amazing. She is still
put out a new
amazing.
record and had a baby.
She's amazing. Oh, sorry. But like the thought that we would be able to be like, you know, like just completely separately, like that cool, like, you know, queer teens would think that we were cool role models to look up to. Like, I don't care what the mainstream public thinks of that. Like, that's a conversation between us and the audience, and I like that. And like the people who write stupid articles or whatever, you know, like that's to sell papers, and I know it is, you know.
Again, with the inspiring thing.
Yeah.
It's quite scary.
Yeah.
Plus, you've also obviously got the added advantage of being able to go, like, you know, before a show or something before you go out. You know, you could ask each other, do I look good?
Right.
The other one could say, I'd hit that.
Wow, that would never ever
happen.
That's awesome.
That's disgusting. Do you, when you and your sister, do you have a sister?
No, I don't actually.
If you had a sister, do you think that you two would be like, hey baby, you look great tonight, I would totally
I'd
hit that shit.
I'd hit that.
Fucking disgusting.
I do that to my mates.
Something
though.
seriously
yeah.
wrong.
You tell your guy
I'd
friends that you
I'd
would
have
sex.
bum sex with you.
Yeah.
Really?
You are a
You're
dream for a woman out there. Like, if you're not...
perpetuating so many
This is
stereotypes is terrifying.
exactly. It's amazing, isn't it? This is
It's
why I'm
almost-
such a
You've gone
catch.
so far over the line that it's almost not offensive because you've crossed over to a new
You've, like, come back
territory.
360 back to almost funny, so...
Almost.
Yeah,
I'll
almost.
get there eventually.
Yeah.
But I guess we should probably wrap this up. you
Okay.
know, in this tidal wave of
Before it gets
complete
violent.
mediocrity from myself and inspiring awesomeness over here.
At least you're self-deprecating. Some people ask us these questions and they're serious.
Yeah.
You know, I am actually just completely joking.
Yeah.
I know you're joking.
We got it.
You'd be dead.
They are gonna.
Before you
they-
go, we would
they
have been
are
like,
actually
look
gonna
over
beat
there,
the
and then
shit
it
out
would
of
be
me
a
later.
needle in your neck, and then it would have been over. So it's not a threat.
A needle in my neck.
I'm
That's
just-
so violent.
It's just quick,
Yeah.
painless.
Jimmy, you could turn around and I'd punch you in the throat. It's
Yeah.
fucking hell. Just relax.
I would never punch you in the throat. It'd just be swift and quick. You wouldn't even know what happened to you.
Well, that's the way I'd like
I
to
don't
go.
mean dead. I just mean like, you know, just passed out for a couple of years. In a coma.
Wow. Now I've got something to tell my grandkids. Tegan and Sara put me in a coma.
We're
It
not
was
usually
awesome.
violent. We're like Canadian. We were like, it's like genetically engineered to not be violent. Look what you've done to us, for
Genetically
God's
engineered
sakes.
to like maple syrup and Degrassi High.
It's amazing.
We haven't actually touched on that, but
Degrassi.
Yeah, apparently it's not so big with Canadians. It was massive
The
everywhere
old,
else.
the
Oh, yeah, no,
old
it's
one?
big.
The
No,
old
no,
Degrassi
no, it was
Junior
big.
High and
Yeah,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
big. They
you
were
guys
big.
still love it?
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice one.
Amazing.
Actually, the only other Canadian band I think I've ever talked to was Billy Talent,
Oh yeah, cool.
and they went nuts for that shit.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Nuts for it.
Yeah, we love
Degrassi was amazing. We still like, it's funny when you sit around it's like you can make a drinking game of it. Like you basically like, it's like you come up with as many episodes as you can remember. Like you're
Nice.
like, remember when the twins, one of them made out with that guy and got mono, and then it's like everybody's like, ah, then you need to have a drink.
That is like the best storyline ever as well.
Yeah, I mean
love
it
it.
is the best storyline ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's been Canada just like that.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Regardless, this has been Beat TV. I've been Jimmy J. Rodriguez. This has been the utterly fucking awesome Tegan and Sara. Go buy their record, The Con. It's just fucking awesome. I'm gonna say, maybe I should say something other than fucking awesome. It is the duck's fucking nuts. It is shit
Ducks
balls
have
awesome.
nuts?
I don't know, do they?
I don't know. I mean, I don't generally walk around checking out ducks
I'm gonna go find a lake,
and hit that shit and get arrested.
tackle a duck, find some nuts,
Tegan
and go,
is-
not as good as The Con.
Tegan is so upset with this interview.